Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. So I'm gonna kick things off by getting my space ready for all the dust I'm about to pick up. So I always get started by turning on my air purifier, and then I'm gonna be taking this dust collector here, which is completely new for Melody Susie. And then I'm gonna take out my new e-file, also from the Melody Susie anniversary set. And I'm going to be prepping the inside of my extension. I'm using a mini sanding band and mandrel bit that came in that same anniversary set. If you want to see everything that's inside of the box, you can check out this short here, but these are perfect if you need to get into smaller extension sizes. So the first one I used was a size 7, and that's the smallest extension size that I use on my hand. And typically with a normal size sanding band and mandrel bit, I only use them on the bigger sizes. So with using this, I didn't have to switch out my bit, and I was able to fully etch the inside of the extensions in one go. I'm only etching up until the point where I think my natural nail is going to stop. I pretty much take a guesstimate because I have been doing this so many times. I'm pretty much used to it and can pretty much eyeball what point to go up to. But if you want it to be precise, what you can do is take the extension, place it on top of your natural nail, and then mark where your natural nail stops. In the beginning, I used to use a permanent marker, and then once I was done etching, I would just take alcohol and wipe the permanent marker away. The dust collector does have 3 settings. I am using it on a medium setting, and I do think it's doing a great job at getting the excess dust out of my way as I'm doing this step. It also comes with a reusable filter, so once I'm done, I will be able to clean it with a vacuum. Now that I'm done prepping the inside of my extensions, I'm gonna prep my natural nails. So I always do my extensions first because, as you can see, when I'm using an e-file, it kicks up dust, and if you were to go and prep and prime your natural nails, the dust will get stuck. So this is why I do it in this order. I'm using my hand file and just smoothing the edges of my natural nail. As you can see, I did cut them off again. They weren't growing the way I wanted them to, so I'm just starting over. It makes no sense why I keep doing this, but I'm really picky and nails grow back, so I just cut them down and start from scratch. But anyway, once I'm done filing my natural nails, I'm gonna be taking some cuticle remover and placing it all over the bottom half of my natural nails, making sure to get that cuticle area. And I do like to wait just a couple of seconds to make sure it can do its job, and then I'll begin pushing back the cuticles. I'm going to be using a wooden cuticle pusher today because I completely lost my stainless steel ones. I have no clue where they are. I'm gonna blame my dog. I know he knows where they are, but I don't. Then I'm gonna remove the remaining dead skin with my cuticle nippers. Then I'm gonna clean everything off with alcohol. I have my nails prepped, but we're not done because I still need to add a dehydrator. I will be using this one here from Model Ones, and then I'm going to apply the matching primer on top of the nails as well. I like to let my primer sit for about 15-20-ish seconds, and then I will go in with a gel glue. And this is the same gel glue I'm going to be using to apply the gel extensions. I'm going to cure in my big lamp, and now we're going to apply these extensions. For extensions, I'm finally back in my medium stilettos. Sorry about that, y'all. That's my dog in the background. Normally he is barking. Anytime he sees me pull out the mic, he knows that I'm talking to it at this point, and I guess he feels that he needs to be heard too. But anyway, I'm going to be applying that same Mia Secret glue that I applied to my natural nails on the bottom half of the extensions. Then I'm going to press down in about a 45-degree angle, and then once I have the extension in place, I am going to move under my flash cure lamp and sit there for about 15 seconds. Now that I have my extensions applied, I am going to seal the cuticles, but I will be doing that using the same lightweight e-file that I used earlier in the video, and I'm going to turn it on using the knob at the top. I'm actually going to be using my favorite Pana of 5-in-1 bit, so I'm going to go ahead and unlock everything, put the Pana 5-in-1 in, and then lock it back. I'm going to hit the pause button so it's not spinning on me before I'm ready, but you can choose whether or not you go forward or reverse by hitting this button here, and to select the speed you would just turn the knob. This does go up to 35,000 RPM, but to seal my cuticles, I will be using it at 3,000 RPM. Now that I'm ready, we're going to hit that play button and get to sealing these cuticles. To seal the cuticles, I will be moving slowly from side to side, and I'm just going to keep going until I feel like the extension is sitting flush with my natural nail. I will say, as I'm using this, the e-file feels really smooth. There isn't any vibration coming from here, and I'm really loving this so far. Next, I'm going to be taking some acetone in a flat brush and moving from side to side to just do a little bit of extra. I don't really have a preference when it comes to sealing the cuticle, but I have been really loving doing both. I feel like you just get the most seamless look. This particular design is going to have a lot of layering going on, so I'm going to completely skip base coat and just etch the nail instead. But if you do skip base coat, you want to make sure you remove the shine from your extensions really well to give the gel polish something to stick onto. There are some tips where they're advertised as not needing base coat at all, but that would come down to personal preference and what you're comfortable with. For this video though, I will just be removing the shine with my sanding band. So I will be doing a layered design. Basically, we'll be having multiple layers of polish, things kind of looking like they're encapsulated in there. So to get started, I will be taking this milky white here from D&D, and I'm going to be laying a thin layer of polish down. And this is going to be our base color because I don't want the nail, once it's done being layered, to look like glass. I do want it to look like it's sitting on top of something. Once I'm done applying the milky white, I will be leaving it wet. We will not cure at this point because I will be using what I believe are seashells. They're imitation though, but they are so pretty. What I love about them is if you hold them into the light, you can see the different colors it reflects back. You'll see a little bit of green, you'll see a little bit of pink, even a little bit of purple and pearlescentness going on. They're very pretty, but I'm going to be taking these and I'm going to break them into smaller pieces using just some tweezers. They're easy to break, and then I'm going to place them on top of the nail. So I'm going to be laying these down in random patterns, not thinking too much into it, but a lot of them will be placed in the center of the nail. We're going to be laying down 3 elements. We've already laid down our shells, but now we're going to go and take the Cynthia brush, dip her into some glitter flakes, and lay those down on the nail as well. Once I'm done applying the glitter flakes, now I'm going to cure it in the lamp for 60 seconds. The third and final element here will be some gold flakes. So what I'm doing is just laying this down on top of that sticky layer of polish. If you have never worked with gold leaf before, it basically works best when it's laid on top of something sticky. For this video, I'm going to let the gold leaf stick to the inhibition layer that is left behind from the milky white, but this method is not foolproof because everything else on the nail is very sporadic and random. I'm not too pressed on where the gold leaf falls. If it doesn't stick in one area, I'll just move it to another one. It's not that big of a deal for me. But if you are like, the gold leaf must go here, it cannot deviate, I don't have time for it to be anywhere but this particular spot, I recommend laying down a base coat, curing it, and then going in with your gold leaf. Now I know most of you have probably seen the Gel X encapsulation method either on TikTok, Instagram, somewhere on Beyonce's internet. I'm kidding. And I decided that that was not going to work for this design here because the shells and the gold leaf are not sheer. So I did not feel, in my personal opinion, that the light from my lamp was going to be able to penetrate through those items and fully cure any of the gel. If you are not aware, uncured gel left on the nails, skin, etc. can cause something called contact dermatitis, which is a lifelong allergy that you can develop. I know I say this often, but I have to because it is so important. But anyway, let's go ahead and fully cure these nails in a big lamp for 60 seconds. So taking a moment to pause, here's what everything is looking like so far. This is 1000% another trust the process nail look. So let's go ahead and keep going. If I turn my hand to the side here, you'll see that the nail is not leveled because some of those seashells are popping through the top coat, and what we have to do is smooth the surface of the nail before moving forward. So I'm gonna go back and forth with my buffing block until the nail looks leveled, similar to how it does here. Next, I will be drawing some lines on the nail, and this is going to be like cracks in marble. I am just squiggling my brush around, shaking my hand because I want the lines to be not straight, nice and curved, really random, have different patterns. So I'm just having fun with this and drawing the lines coming from different parts of the nail, squiggly here, squiggly there, just a little bit of everywhere. Now there are some areas where I put way too much gel polish down. So I'm gonna blend these lines out with flat brush and alcohol just enough so they're not as prominent, but not overdo it so that they're completely removed from the nail. Similar to my last marble video, I am going to be taking this milky white here and layering it on top of everything we just placed down on the nail. This helps give the illusion that everything that's sparkly and shiny is underneath instead of sitting directly on top. So I'm gonna go on top of the nail with one thin layer of that same milky white that we used in the beginning. And then once I'm done applying it, I will cure in my big lamp for 60 seconds. To seal this entire design in, I'm gonna go in with a glossy top coat. And here are what the nails look like all done. Now I know it may seem like we did a whole bunch just to get to this point. And don't get me wrong, there were quite a few steps, but it's definitely worth it. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment just to let me know how you feel or if you have any questions. But if you're not subscribed, make sure you do so on your way out. But in the meantime, I will see you in the next video.